Hi there. It's May 15th and time for Proverbs 15. So, if you ever wanted to do a biblical study on arguing, debating, disagreements with friends, loved ones, or anybody for that matter, Proverbs 15 would be the perfect place to start. Okay? Lots of good stuff in there about that. And it begins at verse 1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Okay? That's true. Don't yell. Just don't yell. And we'll put all these together. And the tongue of the wise treats knowledge correctly, but the mouth of fools spouts folly, foolishness. Treats knowledge correctly. The eyes of Adonai are everywhere, observing the wicked and the good. Everywhere. Sees everything. Hey, a healing tongue is a tree of life, but a deceitful one crushes the spirit. Right? If you crushes somebody's spirit, that is very hard to recover from. Okay? Healing tongue, right? Kind. Even especially when you're arguing, you want to say kind, edifying, uplifting things, right? You don't want to beat down on people with your words. Words break bones. A fool despises his father's discipline, but one who accepts reproof is smart. Right? You always want to accept reproof, criticism, they call it now. Right? Righteous. We put all these righteous ones together too. The house of the righteous has great wealth, but the income of the wicked brings trouble. You can look anywhere on the news now and see how this income of the wicked is bringing them trouble. Okay? 7. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the heart of fools. Right? 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Adonai, but the prayer of the upright pleases him. And of course, there's a note over here. That thing is abominable before God, which the wicked think to be most excellent, and whereby they think most to be accepted. All right. Now, you could probably think of some philanthropists, right, that are evil. People know they're evil, even though they're always smiling at the camera, right? And they're evil, okay? You detest that. The prayer of the upright pleases him, right? Just talk to God. Don't be wicked and evil. I'm going to give $1 million because it'll make me look good. A simple prayer from an upright pleases him more. 9. Adonai detests the way of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue righteousness, right? We are pursuing righteousness. Can you ever be totally righteous? No, not in this world. You can't. 10. Stern correction awaits one who forsakes the way. One who hates reproof will die. Forsaketh the way. He that swerveth from the word of God cannot abide to be admonished. Right? That's a good saying for that. Let's highlight that. Just for kicks, right? No, not yellow. I need to change that color. That's gonna mess me up. It's not gonna let me. Sometimes this program's a little off. Anyway, stern correction awaits one who forsakes the way, but one who hates reproofs will die. Okay, and that's a great explanation for it in the footnote over here in the 1599. He that swerves from the word of God cannot abide to be admonished. Hmm? That's forsaking the way, okay? Differing from the word of God, swerving from it. Hmm? 11, Sheol and Abaddon are before Adonai. How much more the hearts of people? Right? Death and destruction. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. Okay. There is nothing so deep or secret that can be hid from the eyes of God, much less man's thoughts, hearts of people, right? You can't hide anything from God. 12, a mocker dislikes one who corrects him. He will not go to the wise. Some people just want to be right even when they're wrong, right? Okay. 13, a joyful heart makes the face cheerful, but heartache crushes the spirit. True statement, right? 14, a discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on folly or foolishness, right? A discerning heart seeks knowledge. 15, all the days of the afflicted are bad, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. How can you have a cheerful heart? That means being kind all the time, saying kind things, looking at the positive, following the Lord first and foremost, right? If you're saved, you know that you're going to heaven and nothing can stop that. Nothing can take that away from you. That should give you joy. 16, better is little with fear of Adonai than great wealth with turmoil. That's a great statement. Right? Better is little fear of the Lord than great wealth with all the trouble that comes with it. Okay. 17, better a meal of vegetables where there is love than a fattened ox where there is hatred. Right? You ever go to one of those functions and everybody's fighting? Stay home. Okay, arguing again. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but one who is slow to anger calms a quarrel. Got that? Slow to anger. We'll put all those together at the end. The way of the slacker is a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. Right. Slackers, lazy people, they never get anything done. They just talk about it. Right? 20, a wise child brings joy to his father, but a foolish person despises his mother. Right? Honor your parents. 21, folly is joy to one who lacks sense, but one with discernment walks straight. Mm-hmm. You know, some of these people that lack sense, they enjoy being foolish. They enjoy their foolishness. Crazy. 22, plans fail where there is no counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed, right? If you're going to do anything, any endeavor, always talk to somebody who's done it, right? The people who have failed at it will give you very good information on what not to do, right? And the people who have succeeded at it will be glad to tell you how they did it. Okay? 23, a person has joy in an appropriate answer. How good is a timely word? Think about that in arguing, right? An appropriate answer. Kindness, edifying, uplifting, right? Understanding. 24, the path of life leads upward for the wise to keep him from going down to Sheol, right? Hell. 25, Adonai tears down a proud man's house, but he maintains the widow's boundary. Right? Pride goes before a fall. We've all heard that. 26, evil thoughts are an abomination to Adonai, but pleasant words are pure. What do I say? Kindness. Especially when you're arguing, you call somebody names and tear them down. That's an abomination to the Lord. 27, one greedy for gain troubles his household, but whoever hates bribes will live. Let's highlight that. All these people that have been taking bribes, that's what lobbying is. They're bribing people to vote some way other than they would normally vote when they are representing their constituents. Right? And they're all going to be caught here at some point. Whoever never took a bribe will survive. Okay? The other one, a righteous heart thinks before answering, but a wicked mouth blurts out evil things. Okay? Think before answering. That's important. Okay? You don't want to spout off the first thing that pops into your head. You want to think about it. You want to say it in your head and say, will this hurt this person? And if it does, don't say it. Okay? The wicked mouth, just, you're a jerk. Okay? Just start calling names when they can't win an argument. 29. Adonai is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Right? What a note. John 9:31. 30. Bright eyes bring joy to the heart. Good news gives health to the bones. Yeah, we all like good news, right? Makes you feel good. 31. One whose ear heeds a life-giving reproof dwells among the wise. Let's make that yellow. Okay? Just because we'll put that together with our lessons on arguing. Right? 32. Whoever avoids correction despises himself, but whoever heeds reproof acquires understanding. That's also yellow. Okay? The fear of Adonai is the discipline of wisdom. The discipline of wisdom is fear of the Lord. It said that in the beginning is to fear the Lord. It said that in the very beginning of Proverbs. Very importantly, humility comes before honor. Right? Pride goes before fall. Okay? If you're prideful, you're going to get knocked off your pedestal. If you're humble, other people will build you up, and that's honor. Okay? And that's important. So there you go. That's Proverbs 15. Now we're going to put all these yellow ones together. Okay? Talk about arguing. Now first, let's jump over to, come on, go to James. Find the book of James, chapter 1. Okay? It's down here at 19, okay? Oh, we'll make that yellow. Okay? This goes along with Proverbs 15. Know this, my dear brothers and sisters, let every person be quick to listen, right? Slow to speak, and slow to anger. Okay, and look at all these Proverbs. All right? For human anger doesn't produce the righteousness of God. So put away all moral filth and excess of evil and receive with humility the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. Okay? The important part is quick to listen, slow to speak. Okay? That means if somebody's talking, trying to get you their point, right? You don't want to be formulating answers in your head. You want to be listening to them completely. Okay? And not saying, man, I'm going to say this and cut them off. You can't cutting them off. Okay? Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. That's important. Okay? Most of that will cure arguments before they happen. Okay? A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Do you want to solve these things? Okay? A gentle answer. First off, never yell. Never use harsh words. to make somebody angry. Okay? It works best if you gentle answer. Okay? Whisper. You're going to have some, and if you're talking quietly, they're going to listen more, okay, than if you're yelling, okay? The softer you talk, the closer somebody listens, okay? When I wanted to get through to my children, I would whisper, okay? If you do that again, this is going to happen, okay? I would whisper, and the words would sink in. So remember that. Is if you're calm and talking quietly, it will diffuse them, okay? Turn away wrath. A healing tongue is a tree of life, but a deceitful one crushes the spirit. Yeah. They're yelling at you and calling you names. Don't do it back, okay? A healing tongue. I'm sorry you feel that way. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. Do you want to do that? Okay. I mean, arguing with somebody you love, do you really want to crush their spirit? I mean, it's hard to come back from a crushed spirit, okay? It really is. Tempered man stirs up strife, but one who is slow to anger calms a quarrel, right? Quick to listen, slow to speak, right? And slow to anger, right? For human anger doesn't produce the righteousness of God, it says in James 19. Okay? Slow to anger calms a quarrel. Don't get angry. Be calm. Talk quietly. Okay? If somebody's arguing, it's because they're very upset. They have a feeling that has not been validated, is a new key term nowadays, right? I need to understand if somebody feels that way, even if it's wrong to them, it is true. And it has to be dealt with, you know? Slow to anger calms a quarrel. 23. A person has joy in an appropriate answer. How good is a timely word? Right? Timely word, right? Quick to listen, slow to speak. Right? Evil thoughts are an abomination to Adonai, but pleasant words are pure. Okay? Just say only kind, uplifting, edifying, pleasant words. Okay? A righteous heart thinks before answering, but a wicked mouth blurts out evil things. Some people get mad and they start calling you names and cussing and saying bad words because they are so upset and you're not listening to them. Right? Think before you answer. And one whose ear heeds a life-giving reproof dwells among the wise. One who avoids correction despises himself, but whoever heeds reproof acquires understanding. Okay? That person you're quarreling with is trying to give you life-giving reproof. Okay? I did this and it didn't work. It made a mess. Listen to me. Right? And sometimes we're not very good at that, especially when your wife or husband says, if you do that way, this is going to happen. It's going to make a mess. Okay. Don't do it that way. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Right. So there you go. That's the arguing. A great place to start a study with that, James, and quarreling. Okay. Let's put the righteous ones together. The house of the righteous has great wealth. Okay. And if you have enough, okay, you have enough food, you have a place to sleep, you have a way to get around, okay, that's wealth, having enough. There are a lot of people who don't have enough, okay? There are people who will not eat and skip meals just to make sure their kids get fed. Having enough and being righteous, if you seek righteousness and follow the Lord, He will take care of you, okay? Knowing that you're always taken care of, that's great wealth. Yeah. It's not too much, okay? Adonai detests the way of the wicked, but love those who pursue righteousness. Okay? Pursue righteousness. During correction awakes one who forsakes the way. The way is the word of God, the Bible. If you forsake the Bible, turn away from the Bible. Right? Stern correction awaits you. One who hates reproof will die. Right? And there's a great note over here for that, right? He that swerveth from the word of God cannot abide to be admonished. Right? Hate reproof. Don't like being corrected. Right? Oh, one more. Adonai is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. That's probably there. John 9:31. All right. So let's get the other ones now. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Adonai, but the prayer of the upright pleases him. Right? There's a note over here. That thing is abominable before God, which the wicked think to be most excellent, and whereby they think most to be accepted. Right? The sacrifice of the wicked, they think gifts will, you think you can buy your way into heaven. You can't. Okay? You just can't. Okay? If you give stuff with evil intention, that's an abomination to the Lord, to Adonai. Right? But a simple prayer of the upright pleases him. A discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fool feeds on folly. Right? Out of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge. Right? Discerning heart, understanding. Right? Knowing the good from the bad. The mouth of fools feed on folly, fake news, and fake protests, and people just trying to get your ire up. Right? 16 is highlighted. Better is a little with fear of Adonai than great wealth with turmoil. Right? As somebody who has never had great wealth, I've never had great wealth. I've been doing very well sometimes, and it's different, okay? There's a lot of trouble that comes with having a lot of money. I mean, look at anybody that has a lot of money, right? They get very little sleep, and they're always working, and they're always worried, and somebody's always trying to take it, right? Fear the Lord and follow the righteous. He will always take, God will always take care of you, okay? Great wealth with turmoil. 27, one greedy for gain troubles his household, but whoever hates bribes will live. Greedy for gain. There's no notes for that over there. When you hear of bribes, I mean, my mind automatically goes to politicians for some reason, okay? Because they get paid what anybody in America would be considered an excellent wage, Most people would love to earn what these people earn to do the little work that they do. But they take bribes, right? A person is elected to represent. They're not leaders. They are representatives. They are supposed to represent the constituents from their area and their hometown and their area for what they want. But many take bribes, okay? And they will vote on what a powerful person or company or entity wants by giving them money. Okay? And that may last for a while, but sooner or later they get found out. They're starting to get found out now, okay? And we find out who took the bribes, okay? Yeah. Most important, the fear of Adonai is a discipline of wisdom. And humility comes before honor, right? Pride goes before a fall. Humility comes before honor, right? Being humble and being lifted up, that's honor. So, there you go. That's Proverbs 15. We went on and on with this today. Hey, tune later. I think we are in I want to say John 4, but yep, we're finishing up John 4 today. So there you go. Have a great day. All right. Give us a like if you think about it. And later on, we'll continue. See you next time.